Hey guys, Carl with Trace Media Co. here, and today we're going to go over how to create an ad from concept to delivery. And some free footage down below for you too. First, a little context about the Stoble ad that you just watched. I did this ad pro bono because I love to practice my craft and create a vision, and I just love coffee. Down below, you'll find a drive link with a bunch of this footage so you can make your own ad. If you want to make an ad and share it with me, you'll get some free coffee beans and a coffee cup. Stoble is a newer coffee shop and roaster in my local area, and I highly recommend checking out their website because they ship their beans all over the world and they're really good. Anyway, step one, vision. First, find something you are passionate about. Maybe a food or beverage that you buy a lot, that you love the logo, aesthetic, or their personal stance that they hold in the world. Something that you want to express to people. Start with the logo. Look at how it's created, look at the colors, the typography, things of that nature. You can get a really good grasp of what a company stands for and who they are by their logo if they do it right. Paint their colors throughout the ad, like text overlays, little logos in the background like subliminal messaging. When I thought about the ad that I made for Stoble, I just gotten done with a run, had some coffee, driving home, looking at their logo. It just kind of popped in my head. I really wanted these beans falling in slow motion and just the whole concept from grinding to pouring to enjoying your coffee. Step two, visuals. What does their company do? So take Nike for example. Nike sells shoes. That's their primary thing. Obviously they have a whole other line of clothing and accessories and things of that nature, but what do you associate Nike with? Shoes. So if you're gonna make an ad for Nike, what are you primarily probably going to shoot? Shoes. Shoe brand, the logo, all that is recognizable throughout the entire world. Just like Nike, coffee is related to the beans, grinding, brewing, and enjoying of coffee. So you can really take that across any platform. I wanted to make it methodical and not too much movement because the brew process is slow and enjoyable because when you end up with that cup of coffee, it's the reward. Beans falling, grinded beans, the pour over, then the final cup of coffee being served up, beginning, middle, and end. And then step three to this process for me was sound design. I make my own coffee every morning. I know, pat myself on the back, right? But there's something about the sounds of making coffee, from boiling the water, to grinding the beans, to the actual pour over itself, and that sweet sound you get when you pour the fresh made coffee into the coffee cup. I'm an addict, I have a problem, I understand that. That's what I envisioned with this ad. To make this whole process from bean to brewed, using this brand's beans, say that 5 times fast, to get you to crave coffee, but also think about that brand in doing so. You can apply this same treatment to an exercise video. Get the sounds of the jump rope whipping through the air, the sounds of the feet hitting the ground. When you go to put the shoes on, you can drop them on the ground, make a little bit of a sound, the laces tying up. All this stuff is subliminal, and it's subliminal. Ugh, I can't even say that word. All this stuff sits in the back of your head like you know what it sounds like. So you relate to it and you know that when you're watching a workout video, you're gonna hear that stuff. And if you don't hear that stuff, it's because of poor sound design and people not taking the extra mile and putting that sound of what they're doing in the video. Sound design is huge and I'd highly recommend doing it for every ad you do from now on. If you have letters swiping in and out, down below, just very low, below the music and everything, have a little make your own sound effects. Open up a cabinet door and get that whip sound. You can go into YouTube. YouTube has a bunch of sound effects. You can Google free sound effects and download a whole plethora of them. Chainsaws. I've used chainsaws in this ad here. I purchased a bundle off of Apple that was like $5 and it came with like 99 different sound effects. And I just looped it over and over. So the chainsaw that you're hearing in that ad is just a continuous loop of the same sound effects of a guy starting it and revving it up. That's all. All right, this one's hard because you just spent 4 to 6 hours shooting all this great content in your living room, outside, something like that, and you have all this great footage. To make a short ad, 30 seconds to a minute, something along those lines, you'll have to cut a ton of this footage out. And you're gonna end up leaving a lot of great footage, stuff that you think you should use, out of the video. It's really hard, and I just did it with this ad. I had a bunch of great different angles of almost every shot that's in this ad. And I wanted to use all of them because I thought they were great. I shot some of them in 240 frames per second. I went with 4K 120. I also did a couple shots in 60p. I ended up using all of the 4K 120 because it was honestly the cleanest. It looked the best, and it just felt right. It felt, the speed of it felt right. But when it came to my ad, too many angles, too many shots, felt noisy. This was a love letter to coffee, and I wanted to portray it as so. Unlike like a shoe ad where you want a lot of different movement potentially, where you're going from hands to feet to face to wide angle, that may be a completely different type of feel, and you might use a lot more content for that versus 6 different slow shots of coffee being made. Just keep it short and don't try to make all of your shots work. They won't, and you need not get attached to all of them. If you're passionate about making content for a brand or person, or just want to get better at making content for people to enjoy, you have to just make it. And you may not always get paid for said content. The company was stoked, and maybe in the future when they need some marketing help, I might be the first person they call on that list. We'll see. If you guys want to get some free coffee beans, I have all of the footage that I shot linked below in a drive folder. And if you want to make your own ad out of it and share it with me, I'll send the person who I think did the best job a free coffee cup and a bag of beans. All you got to do is just create content out of it and you'll get some free coffee. I hope all of you got something from this. I love creating together with all of you. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.